Testing, testing. If you're like
May I
this,
have a pillow?
we'll have no idea what we're talking about. I had an idea. What's up? I'm Jordan.
I'm Bubba.
I have a blog, FunCheapOrFree.com, and my website is BudgetBootCamp.com. We are here today to show you how we plan out our entire year in advance. Yes, we do. And the years that we don't are completely unproductive.
Trust me, we've
I'm
done
telling you.
both, and not planning sucks.
But here's the thing, a lot of people are like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you plan a year in advance? I don't know what I'm doing next week. I like being spontaneous, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I totally get it. Trust me, we're probably some of the most like spontaneous, fly by the seat of your pants people you'll ever meet. But planning your year in advance means you generally block out and make a plan for things, and then the real ticket is that every Sunday, just like we're doing now, you sit down together, you take 10 minutes, you pull out your calendars, and you plan the week. And that's when you get really detailed. So let us show you how you do all of that, and we'll explain it, and then you'll be a believer.
Let's go.
Pillow, there you go, stop. All right, so here's how we usually do it. First step, we pick a word, a theme, if you will, for the year. In 2014, the word was focus. We really wanted to get focused. Last year, the word was strong. We wanted to strengthen and fortify our bank accounts, our house, our food storage, our spirituality, our relationships, and we totally did that. So this year, ready for the word? Dun, 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 dun.
Simplify.
Simplify. And guess what? That's what inspired me to do the video this way. We're simplifying. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Playing. Our word being simplify, what that means for us this year is we're gonna try to say no more. We're gonna try to let go of perfection or the idea of perfection and just get it done. Like this video. Literally in my mind, I pictured this beautiful white background, beautiful natural sunlight, graphics, all these things. Forget about it. We're just doing it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Because it just wouldn't get done. Oh, talk about why we do a digital calendar, not a paper calendar. He converted me.
So I love the digital calendars. We just use Google, it's free. And with Google, you can share calendars with your spouse or with family members. You can have your work and your personal and whatever different calendars you want all in one view.
Yeah, they're like separate color-coded calendars, but you can look at them in one place. It's calendar.google.com. It's free. And I used to use a paper planner, and I actually still really like writing things down, but now instead of using my planner for calendaring, I use it for a to-do list. And I can talk about that in a different video. If you're interested, let me know below. But so we use a digital calendar 100%. It syncs instantly. You can make changes. If you lose your phone or break your phone or lose your paper planner, you're not at a loss. So do it digitally.
So you gotta block out some time or else it's pretty much never gonna happen. So we're sitting down tonight to get started, but it's probably gonna take us 4 or 5, maybe even 10 more times meeting together to make this happen. Hopefully you can get it done in 2 or 3.
You have to put it on your calendar and pretend it's like a doctor's appointment. Oh, and I will have a printable for this at FunCheapOrFree.com, so just check the description below and I'll have all the links and stuff. But first thing you do is go through your calendar and...
Easiest thing, birthdays.
We're not talking just like, obviously his birthday and my birthday, but...
Everybody, mom's birthday, grandma's birthday, great-grandma's, or aunts, uncles, whatever you want.
Your boss.
Birthdays. Yep.
Maybe like your neighbor, people that you want to remember, but not just when their birthday is, but
well, I
like
typically set up like a month early reminder and then a 2-week earlier reminder and then a week and then like 3 days. So I've got 5 different reminders to make sure I've got something planned or something prepared for you know whose birthday.
That's right. And not just that, but like, you know, for us, we don't have family that lives here. So when we send gifts to our nieces or nephews, we need to remember to mail them, you know, up to a week in advance. So don't just calendar the actual birthday, but you need to set a reminder a week or 2 or 8,000 weeks in advance. Be prepared. Name that movie. Dun, 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 dun. Holidays. On Google, they have a calendar. It's called US Holidays. If you live in a different country, I'm sure they have your holidays too.
They do.
But it automatically...
I subscribe to Brazil's holidays.
Oh, Brazil. Google will automatically put the holidays in your calendar, and that's all good and well. But this is what happens to us every year if we do not plan in advance. Martin Luther King Day, Memorial Day, a little
Kids
one
have school off
that gives you a 3-day weekend. And Friday comes, we're like, oh my gosh, we don't have school today. Let's do something. And what do we end up doing?
Crap.
Yard work, clean out the garage, maybe we sleep in. We have just like a normal day. Pull out your kids' school calendars, get your husband to pull his calendar from work or request the days off that you want and take note of them. Mother's Day and Father's Day. Holidays that require us or that encourage us to do something kind for another person, maybe even Valentine's Day, just like he just said. Set reminders for those that need you to engage in some act of kindness or love for someone else. Which brings us to the next thing that we block off a year in advance, which is
Anniversaries.
And date nights.
So part of the calendaring is that we'll say, okay, here's our 10th anniversary, which is coming up. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
And we'll switch off. So Jordan will take Valentine's Day, and that means that year I take anniversary. And then the next year,
we switch. And what that means is that person gifts to the other person, plans the date, and then I will maybe give him like a card or something sweet, but I don't worry about doing a big gift for him. It is completely his opportunity to spoil me his way. And then the next holiday, which is either our anniversary or Valentine's Day, I do the same. It's a marriage saver, guys. It really is. Maury's making lots of noise. Yay, yay, for Simplify. Oh, and date nights. Listen, if you do not date your spouse at least twice a month, 3 times a month, you are going down a wrong path. I'm just gonna say it. Your marriage will not be as great as it can be if you are not continuously dating. It does not matter how much money you have. We were living off of $0 per month for a while. Go to my blog and read my story, and we were still dating every single week. Put it in your calendar. So what we do is in Google Calendars, we set a recurring date night. Friday night is like a family date night. That's when we go out as a family and do something. Saturday night, that's our night. Yes, babysitting gets expensive, so we cut back on other things.
Or you can trade with people.
We trade babysitting, we get creative, okay? But trading off who plans it. So we would say date night, Bubba, and we set that recurring as every other week. And then the next one is date night, Jordan, and we set that recurring every other week. So then on the calendar, it rotates. So then it's not him always doing the work, it's that we share it. And then we get to do things I wanna do, we get to do things he wants to do. But a lot of people say, wait a second, but like what if, I don't wanna plan my whole year. I don't know what's gonna happen next Saturday night. Well, obviously stuff is gonna come up. You're gonna have
flexible.
You can be flexible, but it's on the calendar. We sit down every Sunday night and we go over the week that's coming ahead. So it's blocked out generally, but then you can say, oh, actually we're not gonna do a date night Saturday. Susie's got a dance recital, so we're doing that instead.
But we can be more flexible because every Sunday night we ended up planning out what we're doing for that week in a lot more detail than what we're gonna do for the annual.
Yes.
Remember, this annual planning is to get the major blocks of, you know, the big stones of
chunk it out.
Big things going on and anything you already know about. Like I know which conferences I'm probably gonna be going to this year and they're already advertising their dates. We can block that out.
Look at our city calendar and see what community plays are going on, or the high school games, their plays and musical, those things on the calendar. Festivals, you know, in the summer, there's like free movies in the park. There's parades, all those things. We try to go through our community calendars and put them on our calendar so that when the summer comes, it's loaded up with fun, cheap or free things to do. Next is vacations. What this means is now you go back and you look at those holidays and days off school and time off work that you blocked out in your calendar, and now you make a plan for them. This is imperative that you plan ahead for these vacations because you need a budget. It won't happen, first of all. Second of all, you've got a budget for it, okay? If you're gonna try to pay for Disneyland like a month in advance, good luck. You're gonna put it on a credit card and hate yourself for it. You've gotta plan in advance and then you can be anticipating it. Your kids can help you earn it. You can be like, as you're shopping around, if you find something on sale that's good for your trip 6 months from now, you buy it and hold on to it. It makes it all better. Go through your calendar. This is when spring break is. This is when our 3-day weekends are. This is a wedding, a family wedding we have coming up this year. Here's a baptism in such and such state. This is what we have going on. What do we want to do for vacations or travel this year? So for us, we have to think through holidays like Thanksgiving. If we're gonna go spend time with his family for Thanksgiving, that turns into our vacation. We got to plan out that whole week. We get in the car, we drive. What are we gonna do while we're there? All these things. And we think about that because if he has to take a week off work, to go visit family for Thanksgiving, that probably means he can't take a week off work the next month for, you know, around Christmas time or whatever it is. This isn't so much of a calendar thing as it is like a planning thing.
Got to set up your personal and then family goals.
Goals. Bubba's a huge goals guy. If you do not set a goal, then you have no idea where you're headed. If you're just winging it, like, you are going to be wandering in circles. You can get so much more done and do a lot more good for you and your family and the world if you set goals. So here is what we do, is along with this planning, we calendar things, but then we sit down and we set goals. And this is just family goals. We then break off and do our own personal goals. But here are the categories of goals that we set when we plan out our year.
Fitness,
Health, wellness, getting swole. Bubba's been working out a lot.
Been working out.
Okay, like in the calendaring side of health and fitness, you want to put medical anniversaries on there. Baby well visits, well child visits. If you need to get your teeth cleaned, if you need to go in for an annual mammogram or
checkup,
pap smear, whatever those things are, those things you need to put on the calendar or you'll forget.
So I want to be able to get healthier. Really, I love to play sports. So I try and even schedule that in. We right now have weekly basketball that we play. Well,
not me. I don't play basketball.
Me and a whole bunch of dudes.
He puts it on the calendar and blocks it off as if it's an appointment.
Yeah.
He makes time for that because it's been a goal for him to exercise 5 times a week.
Yep.
And that was a goal he set for himself. In various forms, he goes to the gym, plays basketball.
But yeah, so going to the gym, for example, I love to go to classes. So I can even schedule the exact classes I want to go to. It's all blocked off. I know it's part of my day.
If you wake up that morning and think like, oh, do I feel like going to the gym today? Guess what the answer is going to be? No, you have to mentally prepare. And also, moms, if it's on the calendar, you will be 2 steps ahead. At night, before I go to bed, we both actually do this. We get out our phones and we look at what's happening the next day. And if I see, oh, I've got Zumba at 9:30, I'll like grab my gym bag, throw my stuff in it, and that's one less thing I need to do, which gives me much more of a chance of successfully getting out the door on time to make it to my class. Don't wing it, guys. You got to plan ahead. We set fitness goals for ourselves and for our family. And along with that, one thing that we decided last year is, as part of our Strong in 16 theme, we wanted to do something active as a family every Saturday. And we physically scheduled out bike ride, skiing. Like, we would think of things as a family that we wanted to do, and we would just throw them on the calendar. And sometimes we'd be like, oh, we have sledding on the calendar tomorrow. All right, let's go do it. Sometimes we'd be like, okay, swimming is not gonna happen tomorrow. Let's move that. You know, so you can take it week by week, but put it on the calendar. It really works.
Even on a religious standpoint, if you're going to church and you've got responsibilities there, you might as well calendar out exactly what you need to do and when.
Bubba is a Sunday school teacher. If he is in charge of teaching a lesson, he needs to put it on the calendar and then set a reminder a few days before that day. So the night before or the morning of, he's not cramming to get it done. I am in charge of getting the program formatted, filled out, and printed every Sunday. And if I do not remind myself the night before or 2 nights before, Sunday comes and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about the program. So I have to put it on my calendar. So put responsibilities that you have for your church or your volunteering or whatever. But along with that, fellowshipping. When we first moved into our last home, we were a little lonely. We didn't have a lot of friends. We didn't have any family. It was a little weird, our first real home. And we decided that every Sunday we would have people over to our house. And that was a way that we decided that we would make friends, fellowship, kind of give back, serve people. So we physically now will, every month, we'll put on the calendar, have someone over to dinner, take someone dinner. We'll put something on the calendar that reminds us to fellowship and serve. Another thing we have on the calendar is every Sunday at 5:30.
We try to FaceTime with family.
We found that our personal relationships with our family members and friends were going down the tubes because we were living out of state. So one thing we did is he has a recurring calendar event that every Sunday works for us. And it reminds us to pick up the phone and FaceTime somebody in the family. And little things like that make a big difference. We are not perfect at any of these things. I will tell you this right now. We have good intentions in January, just like everybody else does, and sometimes it fizzles off. But I promise you that the years that, like last year, we were pretty good about this. The years that we really do plan the whole year ahead and we stick with it, and every Sunday we sit down and look at the week coming. Last year was our most successful, our most productive, our most fun, our most adventurous year we've ever had. And we find that every year that we do this, the years just get better and better. We really encourage you guys to try it.
Now get out there. Let's get some planning done.
Yeah, we gotta let you guys go because we have a lot to plan. I'm pumped. You pumped?
Do this. High five.
High five. That was an awkward one. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. And check out FunCheapOrFree.com. I'll have like printables and more information, I have no doubt. Later.
Peace.
Bye.